Get some money, get some money, money, get some money. Get some money, get some money, money, get some money.
It's the National Football League on EA Sports. And we've got Devontae Smith. He's more than happy with last week's numbers, going well over 100 yards and scoring twice. It's the Eagles and the Bulldogs, and it's coming up next.
It's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. Today, it's week 3, and we've got a good one in store between the London Bulldogs and the Philadelphia Eagles. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Eagles team as they enter play here. It's an early test here after 2 losses to start the season, and a game they probably really need.
Obviously, no way do they want to get to 0-3. Not many teams make the playoffs with that kind of a start.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Londoners, it's been a great start to the season. Back-to-back wins to begin the campaign.
Yeah, you don't want to get too excited. There's still a lot of season to go, but they've come out playing good fundamental football, and that might carry them a long way.
As of this morning, summer officially over. It's time for autumn football, and we're underway on EA Sports. And no run back here, so they'll bring it out to the 25. So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over. And a glance here at the man calling the plays under center, their 6'4" quarterback.
We're not even a quarter way into the season. He's already off to a pretty nice start. NFC Offensive Player of the Week in last week's game.
Yeah, week 2, he was electric. See what week 3 has in store. It'll be Sanders to begin the drive. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. The numbers for Sanders last week, 15 carries, 70 yards.
I can't remember the last time we did a game and a coach didn't talk about establishing the run first. But they've lost 2 straight games, so they still want to do that. But they've got to have some contingencies, some other options. Expect them maybe to throw it a little bit to open up things and maybe run it a little bit more later in the game.
This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6. They'll look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the defense. And he's going to bring the fumble back for a touchdown. So the big fella gets on the scoreboard with a return for a touchdown. Good thing he didn't have to go too far, though.
You know the trainers were very happy about that. Imagine having to go get him in the end zone, escort him to the bench, and give him the oxygen. They were loving the fact that he got in without having to run very far.
Now the try here for the extra point. And it's good to make it 7-0. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way, the fumble return for a touchdown. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. No return there for Harris, and the drive will begin at the 25. So back onto the field, here come the Eagles for their 2nd drive. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And right away, he lost the football. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
And a short gain across the 15 to the 17-yard line. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down. They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And taken at the 46. Nearly a huge return, as it is still a very good one. 24 yards. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. He rifles one that's intercepted. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick. And the Eagles are going to take over at their own 41. A lot of bodies there in the middle of the field, and that one intercepted.
Yeah, he's looking for his tight end running a drag route across the field, and normally you'd like him to work a little bit further outside. Here the throw is a little early, and it winds up in the hands of the defender.
Philadelphia's offense ready to go again. They'll start in excellent field position following the INT. The Eagles in good position to start out as they come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. It's caught. Smith. Call it a gain of a yard, and that'll bring up 2nd down. They'll set up a throw. And it's complete right back in the hands of Smith. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part. It got them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction. Back onto the field comes this offense, ready for their 2nd drive. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out, they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
The numbers a week ago for Chase. 5 catches, 109 yards, and a touchdown. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw.
5th in the league in receiving yards, and that's a strong category. I mean, if you're in the top 5 in anything, I don't care whether it's football or tiddlywinks, you're having a nice season.
2 yards, good enough for a first.
Well, that was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? 2nd and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the 1st down, and that's exactly what he did.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. Again, he'll drop to throw. Over the middle and complete to Waddle. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
He's certainly done a nice job spreading the field on this drive, and here he finds his big tight end for good yardage. And that's what you have to do. Keep defenses guessing about where you're going to go with the football.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. On play action, they'll throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. Back to throw again. He'll get this underneath to Jacobs. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40. The 8th play of the drive coming up. It's 3rd and 3. They'll look to throw again. Got a man. It's Waddle, complete. And he has another 1st down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 31-yard line. Give them 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Now the offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted. A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And he will find his man on the outside. First rep of the game for Josh Jacobs. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance in guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal. I don't know what this says about me, but I love successful runs up the middle when the blocking is so well executed like that.
And it doesn't matter whether it's zone blocking, whether it's a power scheme. When you have a blocker on a defender, and then the running back can read it, find the proper hole, and just go, it's sometimes a thing of beauty.
Here's Jacobs. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal. They'll run it with Jacobs. And he will take this one in for a touchdown. Josh Jacobs with his 4th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Bulldogs go up by 2 touchdowns. Early on, they have all facets of the game working in tandem.
Yeah, you get the defensive touchdown early to give you the first score, and then your offense piggybacks on top of that and gets their own. And any coach we've ever talked to, and we've had that conversation with them prior to the game, they always say, you know, if we can score on defense or special teams, that gives us like a 95% chance of winning the game. I don't know if that number's correct, but it certainly does tend to play out that way, doesn't it?
It does. Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now 14-0. That one was an extended drive, 14 plays all told. And it was capped off by a touchdown run from Josh Jacobs. And we will not see a run back here from Harris. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. Not only are they in search of their first score, they're in search of their first down in this ball game as they come up 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. That's swung out wide to Sanders. Yeah, this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
It's the gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Now second quarter action from Philadelphia, and it's the Eagles in possession as they are looking at a 2nd and 5 situation. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. The Eagles on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This will be 3rd and 5. He'll drop to throw. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down.
This first half is not going according to plan so far. Offensively, or even defensively for that matter. They could use a big-time spark somewhere, but it's not going to come on this drive as they have to punt this one away.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Good coverage there. An even 50-yard punt leads to a return of 5. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. London about set to take over on offense. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, they could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the 1st down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the 1st down. That's exactly what they did.
A quick throw knocked away and incomplete. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Back to throw. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's 3rd. They're going to look to throw. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete. Certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. We'll see if they can do better here on this drive. They'll try and start this drive in the air. In trouble, and he's taken down. The corner blitz pays off there as they sack him for a loss of 5. These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles. And that front 7 defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance. They've got to get the ball out of his hands a lot quicker.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Now a dump off here complete. So the completion good for just 3. And that'll make it 3rd and 13.
It's the gain of 3. Brings up 3rd and 13.
Now back to throw. And once again, this is Sanders. And that's not going to get it done. He'll come up well short of the 1st at about the 21. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked it down to force a 4th down?
The Eagles send out their punter now as he'll come on to kick this one away. Fielded just inside the 30. A beautiful fake. A very good kick there, but 15 yards on the return. And they will take over 1st and 10. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. No points last time out. They were forced to punt, if you remember, but no time to dwell on that. They've still got the lead here and a chance to add to that here. 1st and 10 as this new drive starts. Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 2nd and 6. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45. Trying to run for it with Jacobs. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. 49 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries. Just a terrific run there, Charles, from a running back who is so compact and powerful, and that strength was on display there.
Yeah, and this is most definitely the guy you want running the football when you need the tough yards on 3rd down. And he moves the chains and then some as he shakes off that first contact. And as they said in the 70s, he just keeps right on trucking.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Once again, it's Jacobs. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Back to throw here. They swing that out wide to Jacobs. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5. They'll look to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Kaiser White. And the Eagles force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27.
Boy, that's the kind of interception that could save a game right there. They're already down 2 scores. Huge play, slowing down what was going against them.
I was thinking the same thing. You get down 3 scores there at this stage, could be in for a long ball game. Here comes Eagle offense now as they get set to take over here. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. They start on the ground here at Sanders. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Yeah, another negative play in an early down situation. This one to start the drive. You're putting a lot of pressure on your quarterback to bail you out when you're in 2nd and long yardage.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Open man is Goddard, the tight end. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. He'll look to throw. This is Lazard with a catch out left. So he'll be stopped here for no gain. And that'll bring up 4th down.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on 3rd down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
The Eagles send out their punter now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And a nice job here on special teams. This will be down inside the 10 at the 8-yard line.
Absolutely love the flexibility of these punters. Their leg drive, able to get it way up in the air, and that allows their punt team to get down there and down it inside the 10 because they've had some time.
Here comes the offense again, and let's focus on Josh Jacobs for a moment. We're in the 2nd quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, try to get him more involved here on this drive, maybe. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a 1st down.
Exactly what they needed right there because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
They'll look to throw now on first down. He finds his man, complete. It's Jacobs. 2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0.
Second and 6 at the 23-yard line.
2nd and 6. Looking to throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. 7 yards there and a first down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
So give him 2 yards there on the completion. 3rd and 7 now. They'll drop to throw. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. So a change of possession here on the punt.
And it will be Eagles football, 1st and 10. The Eagles offense going to take over late in this first half. And with him down 2 scores, you wonder if they might try and put something together, even if it's just to get into field goal range.
Smith catches left side. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. And that's complete to Sanders. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime.
He's going to drop this down to Sanders.
And he's just going to be short here, barely. Maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches. The Eagles send out their punter now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. $51 yards on the punt there.
One final go for this offense here in this first half. And with a 14-0 lead, they may just try to get this to the locker room.
A little over 20 seconds remaining in the half as they'll line up here 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He finds his man, complete. That's Jacobs. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. This time they'll just keep this on the ground.
Finding space at the 40.
And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
This will be fielded inside the 5.
So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks. And welcome in everybody to our EA Sports halftime report. Time for a look around the NFL here in week 3 of the new year. We'll begin out in Houston, and it's the Chiefs who have the lead in that one. Patrick Mahomes killing it. 3 touchdown passes. From there, we head north to Minnesota. Check on the Vikings at home at U.S. Bank Stadium. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Lions. Devontae Adams, a touchdown reception. Finally, we finish at MetLife Stadium to see what's going on with the Jets. And they've got the lead in that one over the visiting Baltimore Ravens. Jerry Jeudy, 2 touchdown catches on the afternoon. We'll move on now to check out the next-gen stats in that first half for our home team. And even though they've got the big cushion, I would imagine they'd like to see a little more out of their passing game. Pretty pedestrian numbers through 2 quarters of play. Meanwhile, for the Eagles, they did not have quite the same amount of success in the passing game that their counterparts did, as you get a look at the numbers there.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. From the 6. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. And this offense set to go now to begin the third quarter. And they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in this second half?
Well, I like what they were able to do on the ground in the first half because they had a lot of success running the ball, and I certainly think we'll see more of that. But I'd keep an eye on that defense, and I think their coaches up in the box will do the exact same thing. If they start to see 1 or 2 guys start to creep towards the line of scrimmage, that'll be license to take some shots downfield.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Here's a handoff to Jacobs running left. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. 84 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
That's to Waddle on the quick slant. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a first down, his 4th catch of the game after having 3 in the first half.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
They'll look to throw here on first down. Another catch there for Waddle. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
At the 48-yard line.
Second and 5. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Jacobs. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain. They'll look to throw again. And he fires one, but incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. And this one is no good. He missed it. And the lead will stay put at 17.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. Well, this offense got to be loving this. After the long missed field goal, they'll take over on the other side of the 50. 1st and 10. Up the middle they go with Sanders. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
after the loss to start out. Here's 2nd and 11. On the draw, here's Sanders. Oh, a nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle him.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. He'll look to throw. It's caught. Smith. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
That's good for an Eagles.
They'll run with Sanders up the middle. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll go again with Sanders. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave them with a 3rd and about 4 more for 1st.
A gain of 4 brings up 3rd and 4.
They'll set up to throw. And Sanders has got it complete. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16.
But with the score where it is, you're not thinking field goals right now. You need touchdowns. So that was a much-needed conversion there on 3rd down.
1st and 10 at the 16-yard line.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Shotgun snap, and then the give to Sanders. He will push his way down to about the 14. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
14-yard line. A gain of 2 brings up 2nd and 8.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And a big loss here as he's taken down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
That's his 2nd sack of the game, and the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
Ninth play of the drive now on 3rd and a country mile. Back to throw. This goes out wide from Madison. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Austin Seibert sets up for the field goal try. That's a 40-yard attempt from the left hash. Seibert's kick is good. And they're on the board at least here. It's now 17-3. So that maybe not exactly what they were hoping for, but it does get them back within a couple of scores.
And at this point in the 3rd quarter, you don't have much margin for error, and that means you can't have drives that end with nothing. Whether it's a punt, a turnover on downs, those have to go away. You have to end with a kick, either a field goal or an extra point after a touchdown.
Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. And they've got to be a little bit frustrated about that last drive, missed field goal.
Always hurts a team because, you know, you've put something out there, you've given yourself a chance, you're in range, and the ball doesn't go through the post. But it's not something to panic about, I don't believe. Just keep playing and keep going.
This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line. On 2nd down, Jacobs. Now he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. On 3rd down, here comes Jacobs. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. Give him the 3rd down conversion, 5 yards on the play.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. He'll drop to throw. Quick slant caught by Chase. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. They will run out of the gun with Jacobs. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. A couple of first downs has the football position at the 43 as they come up 1st and 10. Running straight ahead is Jacobs. And a pretty good burst there as he'll get this across midfield and down to the 46. 102 yards on the ground here for Jacobs, so this is a first down.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 46. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Here's the 2nd and 7. He finds his man, complete. That's Jacobs. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line. Back to the running game with Jacobs. And forget that 100-yard rushing game, at least for the moment, as he'll lose yardage here and fall back under the century mark for the game.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. This to make it a 3-score game late. And I tell you what, he got it from 58. That had lots of leg behind it, and that will extend their lead even further. So that almost certainly the final piece to this puzzle, a 3-score lead. I don't think there's any coming back from there.
But you know, normally I'd get on you for giving up on the game right here, but I do think you're right in this case. This late in the game, 2 scores is tough enough. 3, I'm with you. That seems out of the question.
And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line. Eagles offense back out, getting set for this next drive. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the 4th quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Trying to get it to Beckham, and it's intercepted. Jonathan Abram picks it, and they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line.
Well, this is something we've seen before, partner. We've seen a defense bait a rookie, pretend to leave a window open, and then the defensive back jumped it as soon as the ball was released. Big-time play. They love taking advantage of the youngsters, and in this case, it paid off well.
London about set to take over on offense. And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable 4th quarter lead. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Jacobs going to try the middle, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
They have 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw him for a loss.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. The offense on 3rd down, they've converted 6 times and could use a 7th here. This is 3rd and 11. A give, it's Jacobs off the option. And a good-looking run there as he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18-yard line. 14 yards on the play as they pick up the 1st. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football, because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score. Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. He finds his man, complete. It's Jacobs. He's going to be a yard short. Needed 2, but only got 1. 4th down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Eagles defense able to hold. So we were looking at each other up here in the booth when they went for that saying, oh, wow, talk about trying to add insult to injury.
Some teams are just like that. You know, some philosophies, some coaches are like, look, when I got a chance to put some more points on the board, I don't care what the situation, I'm going to do it. And they're also the same coaches as a general rule that if someone does it to them, you won't hear people protest out of them. That's just who they are.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he wisely will throw that one away. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Back to throw here. Open man is Goddard, the tight end. He'll be upended at the 18. That's a very helpful pickup of 9 after the play began at the 9. They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1.
And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. 45 yards, that's what the punt goes for. 5 on the return.
And now this offense comes back out onto the field.
They're looking at a 3rd straight win here if they can hold on. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs.
And he'll be pretty well stopped in his tracks. Give him a yard up to the 42. Second down, Jacobs once more.
Only gets 3 yards there on the heels of the 1-yard pickup. Sets up 3rd and 6. They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a 4th down. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
A 40-yard punt, no return. And the Eagles will be backed up deep to get the drive started as they take over 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. And this one complete to Smith. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to it. Back to throw now on 1st down.
Goes right back to Smith again.
They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. He'll look to throw. He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. He'll let it go deep for Beckham.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by Byron Murphy. And the return out shy of midfield to the 46-yard line. The rookie was trying to push it downfield, but the safety bit him.
And he'll learn that you have to hold the safety. And you do that with your head movement, your eyes, sometimes your shoulders. Hold the safety so that you can get back to the throw that you really want to make. He got so excited thinking his guy was open that he made it easy for the defensive back to go get the football.
London about set to take over on offense. It's been a dominant performance to this point, Charles, and this is probably exactly how they scripted this and envisioned it. They got a 3-score lead, 4th quarter, and a chance if they want to continue to pour it on here.
It is their call, isn't it? I mean, the way that they have taken on this game and the way that they have carried this game and have dominated this game, you're exactly right. Do what you want down the stretch. We are in the era of, hey, if you don't want us to do this to you, then you need to stop us. Their call to finish this one off.
135 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's our visitors with a football as we get you reset. They've got a third down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And they'll work this down inside the 30. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Second down, Jacobs once more. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. Well, CD, for the losing side, they had opportunities in this one, but big plays just didn't go their way, especially late, and they have to suffer the L here.
It certainly felt like that takeaway. Once it happened, it knocked the wind out of their sails, and they just couldn't get their equilibrium back.
So for London, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they'll have another road date next week with the Cincinnati Bengals. Meanwhile, for the Eagles, the early struggles continue as they'll sink to 0-3. And they will be back home next week for a date with the Washington Commanders.